Alright, Dirt to Midas is finally here. I put out a poll and 61% of you said you wanted Dirt to Midas. And the last Dirt to AOTD video is currently at 430,000 views, so I figured if people want it, and if I get lots of views, I may as well make it. So here it is. And I know that after my Dirt to AOTD video, a bunch of people have tried to do the Dirt to Midas challenge. But the difference is, I made the trend so I can do the challenge better. It's that simple. So just a couple things before we get started. I'm pretty rusty at AH flipping, so I am going to be using a website to figure out what the prices of items are nowadays. I'm going to be using auctions.craftlink.xyz. It's a really good website. It shows you average price, median price, mode price, a bunch of things like that that help you with your auction flipping. If that's too complicated, you can always just join my Discord server. There's a bot in there that lets you check AH prices of any item in the game. It also has a bunch of little giveaways happening all the time, so if you want a chance to win, just join, link is in the description. So this challenge has exactly the same rules as my Dirt to AOTD series. No farming, no donations, and you have to use an alt account. So that's about all I have to say. Enjoy the rest of the video. Alright, so I'm on the Dirt to AOTD profile right now, and we're just going to get it started by making a new profile. So here we are on the new profile. First step is to go into the hub and get everything set up to start the challenge. The first thing that stuck out to me was that I couldn't use the bazaar. Now, I kind of needed access to this because it's a really useful part of making money in Skyblock. And I wasn't about to spend the whole challenge without access to the bazaar, so I needed to level up all my skills to level 7. So what I did was transfer some items over from my main, and I got to grinding up all my skills. Now obviously all the money that I get from grinding these skills isn't going to go towards the challenge. I'm going to chuck it all out at the end, just before I start, and I'll be starting off from 1 dirt block. Now that I had all the skills, I needed to get rid of all the money I'd earned from grinding them. The easiest way to do this for me was to just buy a bunch of items from the bazaar, chuck them on the ground, and then yeet myself into the void a couple times to clean up the straggler coins. And I should probably mention before I get some guy in the comments saying that I'm cheating by giving myself these tools. No, the tools do not count as cheating because they don't actually help me complete the challenge. They're just a quick way of me accessing the bazaar, which I kinda need because it's a really easy way to start. Oh yeah, and by the way, this is the dirt block we're using for the challenge. This dirt block in a couple weeks will be a Midas. Just wait. The first thing I did to get this challenge started is I sold the dirt block and I went straight to the bazaar and bought some seeds. The reason I did this is because you can buy them for 0.4 coins each and you can sell them at a merchant for 0.5 coins each, so that's a 0.1 coin profit for every seed. And the thing about the bazaar is that you can make more money the more money you have. So right now I only have 1 coin, so I'm just making tiny little bits of profit, but it's going to increase exponentially soon. Now that I have more money, I can go buy myself a feather for 1.9 coins. We're moving up to some big boy items now. I can sell this for 3 coins at a merchant. I kept doing this for a while until finally I realized I could buy some wood from a merchant and that would give me way more profit than any of this flipping. I bought 2 logs for 10 coins and I managed to sell them to the bazaar for 12.5 coins each. And so I just repeated this cycle over and over again and built up my money. I had to sell a bunch of different items due to the buy cap from NPCs, but I still made a lot of money. Eventually I realized how crazy the margins on mushrooms were. You could buy a brown mushroom for 18 coins and you could sell it for 29 coins. I knew that if I farmed this, I could make a huge amount of money. I was buying about 3,000 mushrooms at a time and just flipping them instantly for a crazy amount of profit. After a while, I just got bored of flipping mushrooms. I did it for about an hour and I got 500k. Then I logged off and that's where that session of AH flipping ended. At that point, I'd been playing for about 2 hours or so. I logged back on a week later and this time I was going to scrap the bazaar and I was going to do some AH flipping. Mainly because I find bazaar flipping really boring and it's really annoying to edit. So AH flipping it is. The first bid I placed was on a pair of cheap tuxedo Oxfords. I paid 86k and if I got it they'd be worth around 250k. I ended up winning the bid and so this is the first flip of the Dirt to Midas series right here. I also bid on a healing ring that was going for about 150k under market value. And while I was waiting for that bid to go through, I went to the NPCs, bought up all their items, and sold everything on the bazaar. Doing this is about 50 or 100k of free profit, so if you're a new player and you can do this, there is no reason not to. And so you could start a new profile, and as soon as you unlock the bazaar, you could have an AOTE within 10 minutes. I ended up winning the healing ring for 360k, so that's pretty good. Put it up for auction for 45 minutes and with a starting bid of 10 coins, so I should make about 200k profit off that. Also, when I came back and checked the mushrooms margins, they were pretty bad. So don't go expecting that you can just bid up mushrooms and you'll instantly make a bunch of money. That's not really how it works. Anyway, so the healing ring sold for 440k, which is kind of a bit less than I was expecting. They can go for 500, 600k, so that's alright. You win some, you lose some. I'd also been flipping Wisefrags on the bazaar, but that's just how I'm making a little bit of money on the side. But it's really not that interesting, so I'm just going to stick to the AH flipping. I bid on some Tara leggings, but I instantly got outbid. I kept bidding and my final bid was 500k, but I got outbid again, so I guess this guy just wanted his Tara leggings. After collecting my money from that bid, I went and checked on my auction for the cheap tux boots. Someone had bid 200k, which is a really nice chunk of profit for me, and so I went and kept bidding on some other auctions. I went and bid on some young leggings, and they instantly got outbid. My next flip was on a frozen chicken, which I bid 115k on. These sometimes go for 200k, so there was potential for a bit of profit here. I collected my money from the young leggings bid, and then I went and bid on some unstable boots. Getting them for 150k is an absolute steal because they can go for 300, 400k plus. I also managed to win the frozen chicken bid, so put it back up on AH and hopefully get some profit off that. I won one of the pairs of unstable boots for 150k, so put it straight back up on AH for 20 minutes and hopefully I'll make some profit. I put some more bids on a healing ring because they seem to be going for really cheap right now. My final bid was about 250k and I ended up winning it. Hopefully this time I'd actually get some proper bids on it. I also bid on some fish affinity talismans for 120 and 130k each. These are really inconsistent. They can go from anywhere from 50k to 400k, so I was just kind of hoping that someone would bid up quite a bit. And of course I get instantly outbid, so I'm not going to be getting those talismans. So while I was waiting for some other bids to go through, this happened. These dudes had bid 900k on my unstable boots. Now obviously this is massive overpay, and some people are going to be like, oh, it's because they know you're a YouTuber. But I honestly don't think those guys knew it was me, because they would have had to remember my alt's name from 2 months ago when I released it to AOTD. They also would have had to find the auction, and then simultaneously decide to bid it up. So yeah, I honestly think that could happen to anyone, but of course there's going to be people who don't believe me. That's just how it goes. So I claimed the money from the boots, and then I went on and bid on some piggy banks. They were going for about 50k per, and I could sell them for 100 to 150k per. I also bid on a Bane of Arthropod 6 book, which is going for basically free. Those are really inconsistent. You can sell them for 60 coins, and other times they'll go for 500k, so it really just depends what time you're selling them at. I also bid on a strong chest plate, which was going for really cheap, but that got outbid pretty quickly. I managed to win the Bane book for 60 coins, so that's pretty nice. I also managed to get one of the piggy banks for about 50k. Put it straight back up on auction, and hopefully I'll get about 100k for that. I also bid on some more fish affinity talismans. I actually managed to get one, and I think the final bid was 50k. So I put it straight back up on auction, and hopefully I'll get 100, 200k for that. So here's a little trick for flipping enchanted books. What I like to do is I flip the enchanted books that you can't get from the enchantment table. And it can be a bit of a pain going through all the enchanted books and trying to figure out which ones you can and can't get from the enchantment table. So what I do is I use a specific texture pack that changes the textures of all the level 6 and level 4 enchantment books. This means that the enchanted books I'm looking to flip actually look different to the other enchanted books in the list. The texture pack I use is called Vanilla Plus, and I'll leave a link to it in the description if you want to download it. Also, if you can't get it to work, please don't contact me, contact the guy who made the texture pack. I used this technique to go through the list, and I found a Crit 6 book that was going for 50k. I also found a Lifesteal 4 book going for really cheap, but unfortunately I did get outbid on both of those books. Crit 6 books are really hard to flip because they're in such high demand, so you have to get really lucky to snipe one for cheap. I went AFK for a while and waited for all my auctions to end. When I came back, I collected all my money from my bids, and I checked my auctions. The healing ring that I'd put up actually went for 330k, so really haven't had too much luck with these healing rings. So that's where we're going to end episode 1 of Dirt to Midas. We're at about 1.8 mil and about 4 hours of playtime on the profile. These videos take me ages to make, so if you did enjoy and you want to keep up with the series, consider subscribing. You won't regret it, I promise. But anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.